So it's 2026 and life just feels relentless, right? So you have to wonder, how on earth can a Roman emperor writing during a plague almost 2,000 years ago have anything useful to say about our lives today? Well, it turns out he offers a toolkit for survival that's surprisingly, and I mean shockingly modern.
Let's be real. The world we're living in feels completely different. We're all trying to figure out the incredible and, frankly, kind of unnerving power of AI. We're watching the economy shift under our feet like quicksand. And on top of it all, we're just tired. That digital burnout is real.
And here's the thing, this isn't about you not being motivated enough. It's an overload problem, you know? We live in a world where our attention is constantly under attack, where every ping and notification feels urgent, and that feeling of mental fatigue is just normal now.
Okay, but what if we've been looking at this all wrong? What if the problem isn't out there, but in here? This guy, Marcus Aurelius, in the middle of the literal plague, has this huge light bulb moment. He realized anxiety wasn't some monster he had to escape from, but an internal feeling he could just let go of, discard it. And that is the powerful idea we're going to dive into.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start by building an AI filter for taming the algorithm. Then we'll get into environmental resilience, this idea of loving your fate. After that, we'll tackle the social media ghost and silence all that noise. And we're going to wrap it all up with a super practical Stoic checklist you can start using for 2026.
All right, first up, the AI filter. Let's talk about taming the algorithm and our complicated relationship with tech.
So the biggest, most powerful tool the Stoics give us for this is something called the dichotomy of control. And honestly, it's a super simple but really profound way to look at life. You just separate everything into two buckets, stuff you can control and stuff you can't. And then, here's the key, you pour all your energy into the bucket you can actually do something about.
And check this out. Look how perfectly this ancient idea maps onto our digital lives, right? You can't control what the algorithm shoves in your face, but you can control how you judge it. You can't stop the 24/7 news cycle, but you absolutely control how you react to it. This is where your real power is. It's not in fighting the algorithm, it's in mastering your own mind.
Yeah, some people are calling this the algo-modern age. And think about it, it's this age where everything online is so smooth, so frictionless, that we're basically losing our ability to deal with any kind of discomfort. And for a Stoic, that's a massive red flag, because real strength, real resilience, that's built by facing tough stuff, not by avoiding it.
Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do this? How do we break free from these tech-driven habits our devices are so good at creating?
Well, it boils down to 3 really practical steps. First up, add a little friction. Just log out of an app or move it off your home screen. That little barrier is enough to break the mindless habit. Second, when you feel that pull to open an app, just pause. Name the feeling. Okay, I'm feeling bored right now. That little gap is everything. And finally, choose intentionally. Focus on what you actually control, your attention, your response, and just let go of the anxiety about everything else.
Okay, so let's zoom out a bit. We're moving on to environmental resilience. Let's take this same idea and see how it helps us deal with something even bigger. All that anxiety around the environment and just global uncertainty.
Marcus Aurelius has this awesome metaphor for resilience. The idea is, don't be the water, just getting tossed around by every wave. Be the headland. Just stand there, solid, and let the chaos of the world break against you while you stay unshaken.
The core idea here is something called amor fati. It literally means a love of one's fate. But listen, this is not about just giving up. It's not passive. It's a really powerful, active acceptance of reality as it is. I absolutely love the modern take on this. Love the mess, or at least stop whining about it. It's about working with reality, not wasting energy fighting it.
So here's the big mental flip, the reframe. Whatever happens, that's not the point. What matters is how you respond to it. So bad luck isn't the thing that happened to you. Bad luck is caving when it happens. Good luck is getting the chance to handle it with courage and character. That's the gift that hard times give you. All right, let's bring it back to the here and now. Let's talk about the social media ghost and how we can silence the noise in one of the loudest parts of modern life. The Stoics basically give us a survival guide for this. First off, you don't actually have to have an opinion about everything. It's okay to just not. Get off the platforms that are basically designed to make you feel bad about your own life. Because as the sources say, comparison is a total scam. And you know what? Change what you're consuming. Talk less. Read more. Especially old stuff. Things that have lasted. Not just whatever is causing outrage today. And this all comes back to a core Stoic idea from another philosopher, Epictetus. Think about it. Someone's vacation photos, their new job, those things are just neutral facts. They have zero power to upset you. It's your opinion about them, your judgment, that causes the pain. Your inner peace, that's on you.
Okay, so we've got all these big ideas. How do we actually make them a part of our daily lives? Here it is, your 2026 Stoic checklist for fortifying that inner citadel.
Here's a simple 5-step daily checklist. Number 1. Start your day with just 5 minutes of quiet. No screens, just let your brain wake up. Number 2. Do one hard thing. Could be a cold shower, could be a tough conversation. You're training your resilience muscle. 3. Schedule a little reset in the middle of the day. Step away from the screens, just breathe. 4. In the evening, journal for a few minutes. What went well? What could you do better tomorrow? And number 5. Cut something out. Find one thing that's just a distraction and say no to it.
And please remember, this is not about being perfect. Marcus himself said, don't expect perfection, just be happy with even the smallest bit of progress. It's consistency, not intensity, that really matters. Showing up day after day is what builds that strength. If you miss a day, who cares? Getting back to it the next day, that's the whole point.
This is such a brilliant line from the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. The idea is really simple. We are all part of a bigger thing, a community, a society, an ecosystem. So by making ourselves better, we are directly making the whole thing healthier. Your personal growth is a form of community service.
And the really cool part is that this isn't about some grand save-the-world gesture. It's about these small, practical steps. When you finally quit a bad habit, you improve the hive. When you just decide to opt out of all the nasty arguments online, you improve the hive. Every small personal step you take helps build a better whole. All right, on to our second principle. Now, this one might sound a little negative at first, but stick with me, because it is one of the most powerful resilience tools you can possibly have. Instead of just hoping for the best, the Stoics made it a practice to prepare for the worst. It's called premeditatio malorum. Fancy Latin, right? But all it means is thinking about bad things ahead of time. It's not about being a downer, it's a strategic move. Think of it like a fire drill for your life. You run through the emergency plan, so if something bad does happen, you're not shocked, you're ready. Now this right here is the key difference. Anxiety is that unproductive, looping worry that just goes around and around in your head and gets you nowhere. The Stoic practice, though, is productive. It asks, okay, what if my job does get disrupted by new tech in 2026? What if something happens in my community? And then, this is the important part. It asks, so what can I do right now to get ready for that? And here's how you can actually do it. It's a simple 3-step process. First, you assess the real risks. Get honest about them. Second, you build resilience. Maybe that's learning a new skill for your career or having an emergency plan for your family. And third, you create flexible strategies. See, it totally changes you from a passive victim into an active, prepared participant in your own life.
Okay, our final principle might be the most radical one for the world we live in today. In an age that just worships noise and being on all the time, the Stoics champion the power of silence. It's like a quiet rebellion.
Does this look familiar? I mean, from the moment we wake up, our attention is under attack. We're getting pulled in a million different directions by this constant storm of digital noise. Most of us are living in a state of constant reaction, and in all that chaos, we can't even hear ourselves think.
And there it is, the antidote, silence. Now, this isn't about running off to a monastery. It's about strategically taking back your attention from everything that isn't essential so you can do less, but do it better. It's the discipline to protect your own mind so you can decide what actually deserves your energy.
This isn't about escaping the world. It's a reminder that real peace is something you build on the inside. When you can find that inner stillness, the chaos of the outside world, it just doesn't have the same power over you. You stop being controlled by headlines and notifications, and you start controlling your own focus.
So, as we look ahead to 2026 and whatever it decides to throw at us, we're not empty-handed, not at all. We have this durable, time-tested toolkit to see us through. Let's just quickly recap the main parts. So let's put it all together. First, you've got the hive mentality. Remember that when you improve yourself, you're helping your community. Second, premeditatio malorum. Turn that worry about the future into productive preparation today. And third, the power of silence. Take back your focus by tuning out the noise and zeroing in on what's truly essential. And that brings us to the final question, the one I want you to take with you.
In a world that's basically designed to scatter your attention, clarity is a superpower. The Stoics knew that focus isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things. So what is the one essential thing that you will protect your focus for in the year ahead?